Longer coming out. Longer coming out. Halo run. Remember them, please? Oh.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
It's been a
All
while.
right, everyone, welcome to the 187th District Court. Today is Tuesday. Let's keep it as a Tuesday. Let's not try to turn this into a difficult Monday. These are the rules of the courtroom. To those who are here and you're on the docket, when I call your name, make sure that you respond. Otherwise, I'm going to assume you're not here and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. To attorneys, when the state arrives, just take your file, whichever it is, from the box and place it on the desk for them, and then have a seat because I'm trying to keep things as least congested as possible. They will call you in the order of your appearance. So if you give them your file first, guess what? You're going to be the first one who's called. If you have a person who is in custody, let the deputy know so that they can have your client brought out. Once you've requested your client to be brought out, do not leave the courtroom because that makes it difficult for the deputies. And I don't want a lot of inmates in the jury box and there's no attorney here for them. When you want to approach the court, you can only approach the court after you confer with the state, after you confer with the client, then just approach the clerk, tell her what file you need for me to hear. She will give me the file. Please have a seat and I will call you in the order in which I receive your file. So I'm going to call the docket. If you're here, let me know you are here. Jason Brown.
Present.
Thank you. Chad Pullman.
Here.
Philip Marcier.
Here.
Jose Parada. Jose Parada. We were starting off so great. Doriana Garcia. Doriana Garcia. Raymond Alejandro. Raymond Alejandro. Abdallah Insi. Abdallah Insi. Alejandro Aspina, I see that you're on Zoom.
Present, yes.
Ricardo Martinez. Ricardo Martinez. Deputy Laura, I think we may need 2 rows. Oscar Lopez. Juan Vallejo. Juan Vallejo. Oh, sorry, Julia Vallejo. Julia Vallejo. Martin Acosta. Thank you. Taylor Valdez. Antonio Rios. Antonio Rios. Robert Andrade. Amber Holland. Sarbando Menchaca. Sarbando Menchaca. Felix Flores. Brenda Schmidt. Philip Diller.
Judge, I'm here for him. I do expect to see him shortly.
All
I
right,
was here yesterday.
yes. All right. The persons who are in custody, in just one moment, I see it's going to be a hot one in here today. The people who are in custody are John Juarez, Miguel Espinosa, Allison Ellett, Corey Rodriguez, Samino Senior, Andres Cardenas, Fabian Vega, Angel Rodriguez, Amberly Perez, Kayla Rutten, Emmanuel Saldana, Leticia Solis, Edgar Sines, James Stegmeyer, Gregory Morrison. All right, is there anyone who came in late or your name was not called? All right, we'll start with the blue shirt. What's your name?
Mario Peña.
Do you have a cause number?
It's the case number NM 674806.
All right, who's your attorney?
Stephen Nicholas.
Have you met him?
Yes.
All right, just give us a moment, okay? Have a seat. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I'm sorry, what? Why were you late? All right, have a seat on the front row. We'll get with you. Yes?
Raymond Alejandro.
All right, why were you late?
Working and entrance was closed.
All right, have a seat on the front row and we'll get to you. All right, everyone, please confirm. All right, the people who are on Zoom, who are you here for?
I'm here for Senor Samilia, Paul Guthrie speaking.
All right, and who is the prosecutor on Mr. Senior?
Should be-
Judge, my co-counsel and I, Levi Fuller, we're the pro tem prosecutors with the Office of the Attorney General, and we are zooming in from Austin, Texas.
Good morning,
All right.
Judge.
Good morning. All right, I'm going to send you all to breakout room number 1 to confer.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Mr. Ospina, who's your attorney?
Jacqueline.
I'm sorry, who?
Miss Jacqueline, let me get you her name.
Mhm. Okay.
Jacqueline Lamerson.
All right, just give us a moment. As soon as she zooms in, we'll take care of your case. I'm gonna place you in the waiting room, okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right, thank you.
On the email.
Okay.
I can show you the email.
I took the she wasn't less than I could do. I couldn't get it to run forward, it only run backwards.
All right, Mr. Pena, can you come forward, please? Oh, come forward. All right, Mr. Pena, you've had contact with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so in this court, we don't do the type of setting you have, which is a pre-indictment setting. So just get in touch with your attorney, and if there's anything that you would like discussed with the court, just speak with your attorney, and your attorney can put it on the docket at any time he chooses.
Okay.
All right?
So you will let me know when the actual court date is?
Yes, what you will receive is you'll receive a card in the mail once your case is indicted, or if it is indicted, and it will go to the address that you have on file. So do you have the correct address?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then we'll see you then.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. And if your bondsman has a question, they can call the court and we'll let them know you were here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Your Honor,
Yes.
Mr. Philip Diller is present. in the back, he came in.
All right, thank you.
That's the traffic on 90, Highway 90.
Well, that's odd. I came in on Highway 90.
Yeah. So, I don't know which.
Yeah.
I don't know which. way.
Okay.
First row, please. Yeah, just.
Servando Menchaca, come forward. All right, why do you keep minimizing your drug issues? Because you're on probation out of this court for a DWI third, and they're telling me that you're testing positive for alcohol. At least that's the message I got back from drug court. And they say that you're minimizing your alcohol use. And if you're in a felony court for a DWI, that means that you have a drug problem. Because in order to get to felony court for a DWI, that means that you must have had 2 prior DWIs, because otherwise you would be in misdemeanor court. So why do you keep denying that you have issues when it's obvious that you do, that you can't stop drinking? Well, I mean, there has to be a reason. Otherwise, you're not going to be successful in this probation. I'm not going to have someone on probation out of this court for a DWI third, and they're still using alcohol, and they're saying they don't have a problem. You understand? Because what's going to end up happening is we're not going to have this conversation. What's going to end up happening is a motion to revoke will be filed. If it's improper, shh, y'all are too loud. Y'all are too loud. What's going to end up happening is a motion to revoke is going to be filed. If it's in the proper format, I'm going to sign it. You will be arrested wherever you may be. If you're at your house, you'll be arrested at your house. If you're at work, you're going to be arrested at work. If you're in line to pick up your children from school and an officer sees you there and sees you have a warrant, your children are going to have to find a way home by themselves. Do you want that to happen? Then you're going to have to do better. You understand? When's the last time you used alcohol? Tell the truth. Why are you using alcohol while you're on probation? Okay, you're whispering. I can't hear. Well, I mean, why did you use? Were you with friends and everybody's drinking? So you were drinking? Were you depressed over the A&M loss? It was your birthday.
I know it's not an excuse.
No. Here's the thing. You are one of the persons who can't drink at all. And you need to understand that. If you don't understand that, you're going to fail at this probation. And according to your contract, your agreement with the state, you're looking at 3 years in the prison. All right. All right. So this is what I'm going to want for him. He's going to do intensive outpatient treatment. Before it was just outpatient treatment. We're going to step it up to intensive outpatient treatment with probation. I'm going to want sober meetings. And can you have him tested today for alcohol? Yes. All right, you're going to be tested today for alcohol. What are the results going to be? Okay. And don't be late for court again. You understand? All right. All right, probation is going to conditions with you. Just have a seat, okay? Yeah, yes. Oh, and probation? Could you have somebody go to his home for a field visit and make sure that there's no alcohol in the house?
Nicholas Marquez.
Felix Flores.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Flores, you're telling probation that the positives for alcohol is a result of your diabetes?
Correct.
Have you provided them proof that you have diabetes?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so what we're gonna do for you is I'm gonna want more tests for him. And I see that you all had him tested August 30th, and it says results are pending.
The results were negative.
Okay. All right, so just what we're gonna do is we're gonna continue to monitor you and make sure that you're not using, okay? And you know alcohol is not good for diabetes and whatever medications you're taking.
I have no desire to drink because it causes big problems.
Okay.
And I add my previous PO,
Mhm.
he told me I had alcohol, but he said it was because of my diabetes.
Mhm.
They had put a 20, I was paying $10 for my UA. They went to 20. I said, how are you doing 20? So I asked Ms. Kincaid, my new PO, because I'm on fixed income to
Mhm.
put it back to $10. I assumed that the analysis was more intense, so we'll be able to determine if it's from the diabetes. So I told her, put it back on the $20 to make sure that, detect, it's correct.
Okay. All right, well, let's do that. And thank you for keeping us informed. I always tell people when you're on probation, the key to being successful is communication.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
100%.
All right,
ma'am.
thank
God
you.
bless you.
Thank you. Oh, God bless you too.
Your Honor, how often do you want them tested?
Let's just do random and see what happens.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, do you want to speak to him before he leaves?
Florence.
Mr. Flores. Mr. Flores.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, don't leave yet. Just wait till probation speaks with you, okay? Who's here? Brenda Smith. All right, come forward, please.
Good morning, Mom.
Good morning. We have issues. You're here for driving while intoxicated with a child. And they're telling me you're continuing to drink alcohol.
Yes, Your Honor, I've been really depressed and I have a lot of anxiety. I haven't seen my kids in 2 years. I went through a bad divorce, so it's kind of been affecting me a lot lately.
Okay, so here's the thing. I understand what you're saying. I've done family cases before, but you getting intoxicated is not going to help you see your children. So, how often are you drinking?
I mean, when I'm depressed, I mean, the last time I drank was 3 days ago.
Okay, all right. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to get you some help. How did you get here today? All right. And where's your husband?
He's in the home.
All right, have him come in, okay? I'm gonna want to refer to felony drug court and see if they can let them know the urgency of the situation with her. Hopefully they can have a spot for her. If not, we're gonna end up doing intensive outpatient treatment.
She did that one already.
Hmm,
She
Well-
completed on 12/6/2021.
she's gonna have to redo it, yeah.
She does expire, Judge, on 10/6.
I'm gonna have to extend her. I'm gonna extend her 2 years. Oh, hello, it's nice to meet you. All right, so sometimes when I have no jurisdiction over you, okay? But it's obvious that your wife has an alcohol problem. So you're gonna have to help in the sense that you all live together. You need to make sure there's no alcohol in the house. I know sometimes other people drink and they feel like, I'm not on probation, but she needs a lot of help. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna have to extend you, and I'm gonna extend you for 2 years, and I'm doing that to try to help you. because you've got to stop drinking alcohol, because otherwise you're damaging your kidneys and you're never going to get to see your children again, as long as you don't have yourself together, okay? So we're going to extend for 2 years. I am going to refer you to Felony Drug Court. Felony Drug Court is a good program. They'll be able to help you. They have a dual diagnosis that'll be able to help you if there are any mental health issues, okay? So, and if they're unable to accept her, then we're going to do intensive outpatient treatment again. We're going to try that again, okay? So, when you, oh, wait a minute. We can't do that because she's on for a misdemeanor.
Just right, yeah. DWI.
All right. So what we're going to have to do then. I'm going to extend her for 6 months. That's all I can do. So I'm going to extend you for 6 months. We're going to do intensive outpatient treatment, and I'm going to want sober meetings weekly. So you're going to report and do your, they call them sober meetings now, but you're going to do AA meetings 1 time a week. If you need to do it more than 1 week in order to remain clean and sober, that's not going to stop you from completing your probation, because you need to find what helps you to remain sober, okay? All right, do you have questions about anything?
Not right now. Your Honor.
All right, is there anything else that I can do to help you be successful?
I mean, I know I need to see like a psychiatrist maybe for some, mental health issues that I have for my anxiety, but that's something I can do on my own.
All right, we can see if we can help her with that, maybe refer her to Center for Healthcare Services. Right, and do you think there's anything else?
Oh, yeah.
All right, and can you promise the court that you're going to be a good support system for her? All right, not an enabler, but you got to support her.
Correct.
All right. So here's the thing, where you are now is not in a good place, but this is just where you are now. You can always improve, okay? So today is going to be the first day of the rest of your life. All right? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who is here on Doriana Garcia?
I am, Your Honor. Jeff Ambra,
All right,
Luis Garcia.
all right, what is happening with this case?
I believe we're set for trial today, Your Honor,
Yes,
and we're ready.
all right, you all will be back at 1:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Norma, is the jury up at 1:30? All right, see you back at 1:30.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and these are to be filed back.
Can I get ahead of something and just run something by you real quick?
Okay, sure, just 1 second. Carolina, this is back at 1:30. Yes.
We have a sentencing today on John Warren for aggravated robbery.
Mhm.
We do have 1 witness coming in, but I did notice that for whatever reason, that PSI wasn't done. It's an opposed offer. I don't know if it was just, I don't know if it just got missed in there. I saw in there you wrote a half eval on something else. I think the PSI may assist.
Was it tapping out and a DDRF make screening?
I think that's all both parties requested. I mean, since it's okay with going forward without it, I'm okay with feeling it out.
Okay. Well, we are opposed. We are going to come.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Coffey.
Good morning, Judge. We do not have an agreement on this case yet. We would like to set it for a contested. I'm not sure what your dates are available for that over the next month.
All right. File that Mr. Coffey is on. What is the defendant's name? Coffey?
Samudio Senor.
Or sing, that's what it is, but we keep saying. singles. All right, Mr. Senior, can you come forward? He's in jail. Okay, all right, so, this is a failure to report. Why can't we do this suggested hearing now?
There's a new number 1 at DWI as well. And we are not waiving that allegation.
And I'm ready on it, man. Today.
All right, well, Mr. Docket, you're supposed to be in person, so you're not ready today.
I'm supposed to be in person?
Yes, you are. So, Ms. Ferguson, can you put this for a contested hearing for next week? If you want to put it on Monday? Monday, RC first on Monday. Okay, you have to. When is RC first? On the afternoon. You can't put this in the morning. How many witnesses are you all gonna have? And I have Saxon in the morning.
There's the probation officer, several SAPD officers who we do need to contact. I didn't know if we could have 2 weeks or not, but if you want to give us a week, that's your decision, Judge.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. If you want to do it on Friday. All right, so it's gonna be Friday the 23rd. And Mr. Docket, you need to be in person. Everybody needs to be in person. Deputy Laura, can you let Mr. Senior know that we're gonna bring him back on September 23rd? Put it at 11:30. We'll see you on September 23rd at 11:30.
Thank you, Judge.
You just,
Thank you, Judge.
May I excuse then?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes. Okay. Daniel.
It was Laura, so I'll have her fill it out.
Okay, thanks. Who's here on Abdallah NC?
What's good, Your
Hello,
Honor?
where's your client?
I will continue to reach out to him.
All righty,
We got approval to file for PTV.
all right. He needs to be here and he's been late before. Okay, thank you. Yes.
on the two where you're gonna do IOP,
Mhm.
if a new tab is needed, is it okay that I have that in there?
Yes,
I know for Menchaca, one is gonna be needed, we have checked the yellow.
yes, but I know that's gonna take a while, so while we're waiting on that, they need to be doing the sober meetings.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. This one is. This one, they're not done, and he's not ready.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna figure it out. I told her to put it back in the game.
I picked it up on my computer upstairs, all those little headers were like tiny things, and I had like to open them up. And make them interactive.
Yes, sir.
Morning, Dutch.
The whole thing.
Mama, who's this person crew? Okay. Who's the attorney? All right. Okay. All right, could I see the file on crew? Or is it, has it gone off?
It's already, well, it's in. Oh. Yeah, it was already in small. How long was I with files?
Okay. Yes, let me see that. And for some reason, my email is not working. And do you have the Court of Appeal? Oh, no, there's. No, this is fine. All right, Eduardo,
Yes.
Mr. Crew, did you and the state have an agreement on what his sentencing would be?
So it was just the 2 to 10 on the original charge. And Angelina gave him 10.
All right, so I'm trying to figure out, was there a plea agreement or no?
There wasn't, it was an
No.
open, essentially there, it was open, it was an NCR, he played through to some stuff, but we went in without an agreement.
Okay, so we're gonna go on the record because the trial court certification
Right,
box.
says
Okay,
no right of appeal.
yes, so once he signs everything, we're gonna go on the record and just re-put that on the record. And for some reason, he's no longer on the screen. So we'll just put this on the record that it's not a plea bargain agreement, and then that will be
Right.
that. Oh, you all can have a seat. He's
Okay.
disappeared off the screen.
Okay, understood.
I just wanted to see where we were. Okay. Okay. Yes.
Major policy or anything like that.
Oh, yeah, no, it's.
I will.
I think, yes.
She's gonna go talk. What happened?
Who's here for Martin Acosta? Let's see what page we are on. All right, where are we on this case?
Judge, I've conferred with the prosecution. We don't have an agreement. We will have to set the case for trial.
Well, have you received an offer?
I have, but my client rejects that offer
When did you receive the offer?
today.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Acosta, recall this in 2 weeks. Mr. Acosta, that's going to be your plea deadline date. After that time, if you decide not to accept the state's offer, then I will give you a trial setting, and the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements past this date, okay? All right, so we'll be back on September 26th. That's your plea deadline date. I'll just get a reset form and we'll see you then. Hello,
Good morning, Your Honor.
good morning. How are the children?
Children are well,
Oh,
all over the place,
that's
keeping our
awesome.
head on a swivel.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Why were you late?
So normally I park in the parking garage where my lawyer's office is, but this is the first setting where parking garage is closed off to me, so where I parked this time, it's by credit card and I forgot my credit card, so I was forced to park somewhere else. And by the time I came to the door, the back entrance or the front entrance, I'm not too sure which one it is, it's closed today, so I had to come around. That's why I was-
All right, don't be late again, you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what are we doing with this case?
If we can get another setting for the deadline, I've talked to the state, there's some information I think would be helpful for us to have a serious chance to try.
Okay, today is your plea deadline date.
Understood. The last time we came, the prosecutor talked about getting us that information that they don't have.
All right, who's the state's attorney?
It was Mike. I think he's primarily handling it, but he's in county court 7 this morning.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, we call this for next week for a plea deadline date.
I'm not sure that'll be enough time, Judge.
What information are they getting?
Well, there's two serious pieces of information. One is the child safe interview. The person who conducted the interview took notes, and so I've asked for a copy of those notes.
So they have that. And what's the other thing? So he said he needs child safe notes.
Okay.
All right, so what's the next thing?
And then the next thing is that there are some medical records for the complainant that I need to obtain in the process of figuring out the best way to do that.
And we can request those as well.
Okay, I'm having a little problem understanding why it's just happening that people don't have this, because we've been here since April 25th, 2022, and on that date, the state tendered an offer. And then we came back on May 23rd, and I have in my notes, all discovery except CPS. Recall for June 27th, defendant to obtain CPS records and state to make another offer. So we came back on June 27th and the offer was tendered, and it was going to be recalled for August 4th as a plea deadline date and the acknowledgement of discoveries due. Then we came back on August 4th. And what I did was I reset the plea deadline date to August 8th because the defense attorney was in federal court and the other attorney was in civil court. And then we came back on August 8th and another offer was tendered. And then today is your plea deadline date.
I don't have anything to disagree with Judge, other than on the June 27th, the state was at that point going to make an offer, and we received that offer on 8/8. And so the information, specifically the medical records of the complainant, this is information that we're just now learning about. And it's, as the court is aware, this is the case where the veracity of the statements that are made by the complainant are extremely important. And so those mental health records would be extremely relevant to my client's defense in this case. And so without that, I don't think that we have a fair opportunity to enter into real plea negotiations. So I'd like the chance to do that at this point. And if we can't, and the offer is what it is, then we'll have to proceed at that. So it's.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Raymond Alejandro, I need a jury trial date. State, how long do you expect this trial to last?
I wouldn't think it would, we should be able to do it within a week. And Judge, with regard to the medical records he's wanting, it's not related to this specific incident, so.
All right. Your jury trial date and plea deadline date is November 8th. On that day, we will be going to trial if you do not accept the state's offer. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Alejandro, do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form.
Thank you. May we be excused?
Yes. Who's the party on Kayla Rutten? All right, come forward. So tell me, where is Appalachian State located? Do we now know who they are?
I still don't know. I think they might be.
Your Honor, it's maybe we're more land.
North Carolina? Oh, there you go.
I thought about looking it up and I was too mad to even look it up.
Well, you missed Cornelius. He was like, who's Appalachian State?
I really thought they were in West Virginia.
All right. Court is calling 2022 CR 3148, State of Texas versus Kayla Rutten. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jed Locke for defense.
Marcus Sanders for the state.
And are you Kayla Rutten? Counsel, I'm showing you what's entitled discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Rutten, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Next, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Judge, we're going forward on the lesser included, less than a gram.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Ms. Rutten, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargaining agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargaining agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargaining agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in, the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea bargaining agreement, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargaining agreement in this case? Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility? Did you understand? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Rutten, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. There's to be a $500 fine probated. State recommends deferred adjudication. They will take in consideration the following county court cause numbers: 691514, 677287. There's $57 restitution to Bear County Criminal Investigation Laboratory for testing. Did you understand that to be the agreement? Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, sir.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, are there any such motions?
I don't think so, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 4 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 100 hours community service restitution, no contact with Wayne Anthony Marino Jr. and John Dylan Arredondo. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the lesser included offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
Yes, state offers states exhibit 1 and its attachments.
No objection, Judge.
Ms. Rutland, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We'd like to proceed with sentencing today, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, she's 19. And I think the biggest concern is her having a place to live. She plans on living with her aunt, and hopefully that works out. Her mother lives out in Cuero, and we're hoping she doesn't have to go out there and transfer this out there. She knows that if there's some emergencies, she has to leave. She has to get permission first. She is in the process of trying to get an ID and social security card and get employment. She's currently, she's been in jail for a couple of weeks, but she is seeking in hopes of getting a job soon as well.
All right. Do you have any children? Why are you not with your mother or in school or don't have your ID or your social security card?
My mother and my father separated a couple years ago, and I was living with my father. I went to jail because of these charges in April as well, and then whenever I was incarcerated, then I lost everything that I had as well as this time. My father was also lost my friend, and I haven't been in contact with my mom, but I recently reached out to her this time, being in jail, because I could see that I might need a piece of whenever I get out, if my plans don't fall, if my plans fall through with my aunt. So my aunt, if I'm not able to stay with her, then I have plans to move.
Okay, so here's the thing. You've said a lot of words. They've made sentences, but you haven't asked my question. Why don't you have an ID? Let's
Oh,
start there. Where is it?
Whenever I was incarcerated before, I lost everything, and that included all of that.
Like, where's your ID?
It was my father.
Okay, and where is your father?
My father just got out of jail recently too, and
What was he in jail for?
he was in jail for unauthorized use of a vehicle.
All right, so where's your social security card?
It was in the apartment, and we got evicted from that apartment whenever we were false.
All right, did you finish school?
No, ma'am, we did not.
How far did you go in school?
Another thing.
Why didn't you finish school?
I got that.
Why?
Because my parents had separated, and it just seemed best because my mother was in Pearl, my mother was in school in Livonia, and I dropped out to.
Okay, you're mumbling. I'm sorry. Could you speak up?
I'm sorry. I dropped out of school because we were going to school where my mother was living, and I moved with my dad back to San Antonio, and I just never ended up re-enrolling into school.
So why did you move out from your mom?
Me and my mother didn't get along.
Which usually means that you're not following your mom's rules. Does your mom have criminal history?
No, ma'am.
All right, and your father does,
Yes, sir.
and you chose to live with your father. Yeah, but you,
She said he did not have criminal history before.
all right. So it seems to me that your mother has rules that you don't want to follow. So you go to live with your father. And the fact that your father may or may not have had criminal history before tells me that he's been doing things that he should not have been doing, because you don't all of a sudden have no criminal history. And I'm assuming he's older than you. Right? He has to be, because you're 19. How old is your father?
My father's 40.
All right, so you just don't, out of the blue, as a 45-year-old, pick up an unauthorized use unless there's other things going on in your life. So what's your father's name?
William Gilbert Rudin.
I'm sorry, what?
William Gilbert Rudin.
Did you say Reardon?
Rutan, her last name.
Rutan,
the same
okay.
one. Yeah, she counts it. Rutan.
Now, this aunt, what's her name?
Sandra Rudin.
All right, and a lot of people just throw out that they're gonna live with this person or that person. Does your aunt want you living with her?
I don't know. If she
That's
wants
either
to-
yes or no.
I don't know.
All right, so here's the thing. And you gotta learn this as an adult. As an adult, you just can't say willy-nilly, I'm gonna be living with this person, and you haven't even asked them. So if your aunt doesn't want you living with her, where are you gonna stay?
Well,
Does your mother want you living with her?
No.
Have you talked to her recently?
I got in contact with her for jail.
And so Quero, where is that?
So I was outside of San Antonio.
All right. And how do you spell that, counsel? You know, I'm not originally from Texas.
Cuero, Cuero.
Oh, okay, I did have it spelled correctly. I always wonder. All right, so here's the thing. I'm gonna place you on deferred adjudication. You're not living with your aunt because, one, you don't know if she wants you there. You're gonna be living with your mother in Quero. And I'm assuming Quero, there's nothing to do. Is it like country
Small
area?
town, Judge.
Yeah.
Very
People
small.
don't like small towns. They like the big lights of the city, you know? But sometimes as adults, we're not ready for the big lights and, you know, the city. I wasn't ready for New York. I think they have their lights on too late at night. I'm in the middle of Times Square and I'm like, for the love of all that's holy, could somebody dim these lights? It's 1 a.m. And why am I out here at 1 a.m.? So you gotta learn that sometimes the bright lights in big city is really not the place to be. So you need to start with Quero because that's where your mom wants you, and you know your mom wants you to live with her. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
Yes.
What are their ages?
20 and 17.
All right. And do they live with your mom?
My little brother does.
All right, so when you go live with your mom, don't be a bad influence on the 17-year-old. And because you don't have your own place to stay and you're living with your mom, even though legally you're an adult, in actuality, you're not. And the reason why I say that is because you don't have your own place. You're going to be dependent on someone else. You don't have a job, so you're going to have to depend on somebody else to feed you. So when you go live with your mom, you better make sure that you clean her house, wash dishes. And if she says the TV is off at 10, guess what? The TV is off at 10. And don't go there asking her to give you a cell phone or any of that. You're going to have to start working on your own. You understand? All right. Are we going to have any drug problems with you? Because I see you have the possession case. What were you doing with drugs in your purse? Here's the thing. You've already pled. Now's the time to be truthful because I'm trying to give you conditions. So hopefully I won't see you and hopefully you won't end up in prison. So what were you doing with drugs in your purse?
I was holding it. We had just bought some and going back.
To partake of the festivities. All right. Now, what are we doing with this gun that was in her purse? Because I read that there was a 9mm, loose bullets everywhere, some bullets in the gun, it was loaded. And you know, loaded gun and drugs don't mix. So what are we doing with that weapon?
Judge, I guess we forgot to discuss it, but it's one where we would ask that it be forfeited and destroyed.
You shouldn't have weapons. If you're gonna have a weapon, you need to use it appropriately. And now that you have this case and you're on deferred, you're not to possess any, you understand? All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication. You are to reside with your mother in Cuero, Texas. And if you decide to move, or if your aunt decides that she wants you to live with her, then I'll consider allowing you to live with her. But do not come to me asking to go live with your aunt till at least 4 months has expired, because you need a routine, and it appears that your mom will give you the routine and structure you need. You understand? I'm going to do 200 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination with the booster. I'm not forcing you to do that. You don't have to get it, but if you have received it or you are receiving it, turn that in to probation. 40 of those hours will be deducted. She is to obtain her GED, or either you're to enter in some sort of trade school, because you need to decide what you want to do with your life, and your mom can't support you forever. You understand? So if she obtains when she obtains her GED or obtain a certificate or something from a trade school, the remaining of your community service hours will be waived. There's going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be no contact with the following persons: Wayne Anthony Marino Jr. and John Dylan Arredondo. Taking consideration County Court calls number 691514, 677287, restitution of $57 to Bear County Laboratory for testing. I'm going to want field visits 2 times per month. There's to be random UAs, outpatient treatment, proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Probation, is there anything else she needs?
What type of outpatient treatment, Your Honor? Do you want that supportive or intensive?
Supportive.
And along with that, we will need a TAP.
Yes.
That's all, Your Honor.
All right.
And Judge, were you going to order that the weapon be?
Yes. All right, and the weapon is to be destroyed. All right, is there anything else that you need from me in order to be successful? Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. Here's the thing, when you're living with your mom, do not have your friends coming over to the house, because I'm sure your mom is employed. So don't invite anyone over to her house unless you have her permission. You understand? And I don't want to get a report, there's some strange guy hiding in the closet when your mom comes home. You understand? All right, and we'll recall the warrant. All right, if there's nothing else, good luck to you. Do better. Oh, you put the date on there. You were on vacation, but you did. Hey, I appreciate it. You were on vacation, but it was not forgotten. All right, can I see the person on Janelia's crew, please? Eduardo Jimenez. Stormy, can you get Mr. Jimenez here? All right, who's here for Edgar Sines?
I'm present, Your Honor.
All right, what is happening with Mr. Sines?
Yes, sir. I've been conferring with Mr. Malloy from the public integrity unit. There's been a lapse in discovery, I believe. Case has been pending since 2018, and there's only been one video that's been uploaded to e-discovery. I've talked with Mr. Malloy about that, and he's in the process of uploading additional discovery. I think there are 3 additional discs, including a forensic video that I need to come in person to view. There is defense investigative material that may obviate the need for future court settings,
Okay.
Which we're in the process of discussing. And so we're hopeful that a short reset will be able to allow that conversation to continue and allow me to review the discovery.
Judges, from our side, for the court's information, what happened in this case is this was a case that was indicted, I think, for Gilmore said back in 2018. But the defendant wasn't arrested on the warrant until this summer. So it's one of those that unfortunately things weren't scanned or uploaded like they should have been. It didn't come to my attention until we got our setting for it. But we're working to remediate those issues.
Okay, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Mr. Sines, please? All right, so we're going to come back on October 18th. So you should have all your discovery by then. If you want to come in sooner than that, just let the court know and we'll put it on the docket sooner.
Absolutely, Your Honor. I appreciate that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good one. Okay. Okay, Eduardo.
Yes, Judge.
All right, we're going to go on the record. We're going to go on the record in 2017 CR 12785, State of Texas versus Janelia's crew. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Ryan Grimmer for the state of Texas.
for the defense?
Eduardo Jimenez for the defendant.
All right, and are you Mr. Crew? Could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
All right, we're here because a sentencing took place with Judge Angelini. The court has received an order from the Fourth Court of Appeals, and it's in regards to the trial court certification of defendants' rights to appeal. So Judge Angelini checked the box, or someone else checked the box that this was a plea bargain case and the defendant had no right to appeal. State, was this a plea bargain case?
So Judge, it was an MTR where he agreed to plead true. However, we went into the MTR without an agreement.
That is correct, Your Honor. There was no agreement between the state and the defense as to anything at all. It was open to the court.
All right. So Mr. Crew, Because this was not a plea bargain agreement, you do have a right to appeal, but the right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion and not the fact that you were on probation. Do you understand?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
All right, if there's nothing else from the parties, then we'll close the record.
Nothing
Nothing
else,
from the
Your Honor.
state.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Number 17E, Mr. Crew can go back. Hi.
Mayor Courtroom.
Yes,
It's the motion to destroy the firearm from that case.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Obscena, your attorney is present.
Okay.
So Ms. Lamerson, do you need to go in a breakout room with Mr. Obscena?
No, Judge, we spoke yesterday. We turned in our PTD application at the last setting. We're just waiting on our contract to be tendered and we'll get that in.
Ms. Ferguson, I need a PTJ for Obscena. All right, so we're going to come back on October 18th.
And Mr. Ospina lives in Houston. Will he be allowed to appear on Zoom again?
Yes.
Great.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Okay. May we be excused?
Yes,
Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome. Have a great day.
You too.
All right, and Norman, he's allowed to appear by Zoom.
No, don't worry about it. Oh, I can always.
We're announcing ready for trial.
Oh,
Yeah. Parada is the last name.
All right, who's here on Amber Holland?
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. Where's Amber Holland?
She's coming up, Judge.
All right, who's the prosecutor on Amber Holland? Let me see where she is on the docket. All right, so we're here for discovery. So the last time we were here, there's supposed to be videos and chain of custody or something.
Yes, Judge. We got the chain of custody. We're still missing the video. And then the bench brought up another video that isn't directly related to the case. But that, I guess, is indirectly related, where it happened after this offense occurred. Was it after?
The next day.
The next day. But it would affect, it could potentially affect this case. And so he's asking for video on that case too.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date and a plea deadline date, please. How long do y'all expect this trial to last?
2 days with jury selection.
Okay. Nope. I'm sorry, what date? All right, September 26th,
The plea deadline?
plea deadline and jury trial.
I would ask for more time. I just don't have those videos. They are directly related to this case, Judge. And I need more time to view them. I don't know how long they are.
All right, you need to have the videos to him by Friday.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you.
And Judge, can I request more time at that time once I figure out exactly?
You'll have to take it to impact.
Okay.
All right,
You
thank
said it
you.
was the 26th, right?
Yes, and you'll be in impact.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You're welcome. All right, is the Spanish interpreter here on Jose Parada? All right. Parada is 1:30.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, who is the attorney for Ms. Lopez who's on the screen?
That's John Young. Can you give me just a few minutes?
Okay.
That's the one with the appeal.
All right, thank you.
Will be,
Philip Diller.
Present judge.
Okay. All right, what is happening on Mr. Diller?
All right, Judge, so I picked up the CPS records this morning, and we did receive the discovery late yesterday on Mr. Diller's case. And so we need time to go over everything,
Okay.
go over all the discovery.
All right, and did the state give you an offer? State,
Is it after?
no, it's
Michelle.
family violence. Is there an offer for Mr. Diller?
We check and see if it's notated in JP
Okay.
files of stickers. Judge, I don't believe that an offer has been made yet unless there is an offer in the actual physical file.
Okay, are you prepared to make an offer today?
I can do that.
Okay, so once an offer has been made, then come back up.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Give me a few minutes, I'm back.
All right, who's the attorney for Lopez?
I am, Your Honor.
Yes, what is happening with this case?
Oh, Judge, we're gonna need an interpreter on this. I apologize.
Okay. So I mean, what is happening though, before we get the interpreter up here?
Well, Judge, Mr. Lopez, the question, it seems to be $1,800 worth of money to be returned to the complainant. Mr. Lopez has acquired $1,000 and wishes to make a payment for that. And so because he's not quite all there, we would ask for a reset to get the other 800. And I believe the state, in consideration of him paying that money back, was going to dismiss the case.
I don't,
All right,
we'll have to talk. I don't remember. I'm not saying that's not true. I just.
all right, well, y'all need to step back and confer.
Case number. QCR 48. Or the 1800. He said he got 1800. So 25 to 3,000. 30.
There's the other one, but I'm so curious about one from the dead. Okay. There's a company that has the filter.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
But ask them, make sure, she may ask. Yeah, but that would be my thoughts, if we don't have an agreement.
Yes.
On Rutten, Pharaoh is not a county that we supervise. So we can do a virtual office, like a virtual.
But they say
officer.
it's only 2 hours from San Antonio.
Yeah, it's in DeWitt, County though. So, but we do have a virtual officer who only, reports via
Okay.
Zoom. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine. Yes.
We have Julia Vallejo. I believe there's a companion case, Dorian Garcia, I believe that is set for this afternoon at 1:30. Can I let the client come back at 1:30 if he wants to?
All right, I need to see the file. Okay, why would we be coming back at 1:30?
I think the companion case is coming back at 1:30. It's a trial setting on the companion case. This one's not really a trial setting. We're waiting on the probate matter, Judge.
We're waiting on what?
Probate matter. So I have an email from today from the probate attorney. This all is involved with a residence that was left to the children, and that's how all this kind of came
Oh,
about.
have you talked to the state?
I did.
Who did you speak with?
The gentleman right there with the orange tie.
Okay, and if you could stand behind the line.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Get his name.
Oh, it's Ryan Groomer.
Ryan.
Yes, Ryan Groomer. Hi. Defense attorney is stating that on Vallejo, he's asking that they come back at 1:30.
I believe we don't have an agreement, Judge. That one is the codependent of Doriana Garcia, and I think we have not come to an agreement on either one of those.
All right. And where's Miss Vallejo? Come forward, please. Oh, she stands in the middle. Hi. Why were you late for court?
Okay, so my daughter's been getting picked on and she doesn't go into class until she's 25. So I was really trying to get her to death and it was so bad. It was so hard for me to get her to then just to go in at. And I tried to make her as fast as possible and I live over there by Cito.
Well, if your daughter is being picked on, you probably need to
I
contact the school
did.
officials.
I have, so every talk to them, every made complaints.
Well, you need to continue to speak with them. You
And-
understand?
I'm sorry. And on top of that, the whole time that I've been coming to court, I promise I've been coming early. It was summer, so like I never had the issue of taking her to school before. I had to take care, So today was like the first day that.
All right. And
I'm
so
so
the,
sorry about that.
oh, thank you. And the co-defendant is set for trial this afternoon. Is that
Yes,
correct? All right, so you're gonna come back at 1:30.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. This is coming back at 1:30.
We'll wait.
All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 4788, State of Texas versus James Stegmeyer. Could I have parties approach and announce for the record for the state,
Michelle Hayden for the state.
for the defense?
John Coons for Mr. Stegemeyer.
All
Just make sure you speak up.
right, and are you Mr. Stegmeyer?
Yes, I am.
All right, I'm showing defense what is entitled discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. This says no application, but I see that there's an application for deferred adjudication.
It should say that the state makes no recommendation or that basically we're silent. I apologize if there was an error.
Oh, no problem. All right, Mr. Stegmeyer, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you weigh the reading of the indictment?
You do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We're proceeding on count 3 of the indictment. It's the one of the indecency with child by contact allegations, and we're waiving the remaining allegations.
We obviously have no objection to that.
All right, Mr. Stegmeyer, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that the state is proceeding on indecency with the child by contact. That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes,
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this cause?
Yes.
Did you understand that the court would grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Judge, he has, and if I could put on the record about his mental competency and status.
Yes.
When I was appointed to represent him, I was informed by his family.
Okay, excuse me, everybody in the box, you need to whisper. If you can't whisper, you need to stop talking until we finish on the record. Defense?
No. Do you need me to start over? Sure. When I first got appointed on this case, Judge, Mr. Stegmeyer's family informed me that he had a long history with the VA dealing with his Parkinson's and that he had been diagnosed with dementia some 20 years ago in the early 2000s. I was able to get, with the family's help, a huge box of the equivalent of probably 4 or 5 banker's boxes full of medical records. I submitted them to Dr. Scott after he had evaluated Mr. Stegmeyer the first time. Dr. Scott, in his first evaluation, had determined that he was competent. He did not see any signs of dementia. I provided the documentation, additional documentation to Dr. Scott. Once I received it, he reviewed that as well and said it did not change his opinion. I have had no issues with regard to my client understanding what's going on in the courtroom, the plea bargain, the case, the defenses, anything like that. But I just wanted to put on the record that these steps have been taken to address any potential competency issues on this case.
All right, so do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Stegmeyer, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on count 3. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at a cap of 6 years in prison. There's a $1,500 fine. State will remain silent on your application. There's to be Chapter 62 registration and no complaint, no contact with the complainant and any other minor children. Did you understand that to be the agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged in count 3, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments into evidence.
We reviewed them and have no objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Stegmeyer, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. We're going to come back on October 24th. And there'll be a PSI report done, and the court will make a decision on your application based upon that report and whatever evidence is presented to me. Is there expectation of witnesses?
Well, since we're silent, no, but there will be victim impact most likely.
Is there any need for any type of TAP evaluation?
Sure, yes. And maybe even a mental health evaluation.
All right, we can do Mick, but I do believe that even if people were to qualify Maya based upon the charges, they probably won't accept him. All right, so I'm gonna want a PSI report on Mr. Stegmeyer. We're gonna come back on October 24th, and on that date, I'll let you know my ruling on your application. Is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
No, Judge, thank you.
Norman, do you have an update on Miss Lopez? Who's on Zoom? All right, thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I think I saw him on my phone at like 8 o'clock.
All right, who are the parties on Corey Rodriguez? Yes. So, is this an agreement or no?
There's no agreement, Your Honor. I confer with the prosecutor regarding this first amended motion to revoke enter adjudication of guilt. There's no agreement. There's we're
Okay,
gonna.
I don't have a first amendment to revoke.
We have one here, Judge. I don't know.
Thank you. All right, so, all
He denies the allegations, Your Honor. So
right, so why can't we go forward? I see he's not reporting allegedly. So why can't we proceed? Is there a reason we can't proceed on this?
no reason.
I can proceed on the technical judge.
All
If he
right.
does it, if he wants to clean up, clear it up.
Let me give you. All right, the court is calling. 2020 CR 10536, State of Texas versus Corey Rodriguez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Ryan Groomer for the state of Texas.
for the defense?
Alfredo Ortiz for the defendant, Corey Rodriguez, Your Honor.
Are you Mr. Rodriguez? All right, Mr. Rodriguez, I'm showing you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision and First Amendment motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you have a chance to review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
I don't understand what's going on right now.
Right now, let me explain to you what's going on. A motion to revoke has been filed against you. So that means that somebody believes that you didn't follow through on your contract with the court. For example, if there was a situation where you're supposed to report, and you didn't report, then that would be what we are here for. If there's a situation where they say that you illegally used a controlled substance, then that's what we're here for. So we're here. What's going to end up happening is the state's going to read the allegations. You're going to let me know if you're pleading true or not true to that. If you plead not true, then the state will have to prove those allegations. If they fail to prove it, then of course I will find it not true. If they prove it, then I will find it true. You understand? All right. So are you did you review those documents, the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision and First Amendment motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision with your attorney? Did you review those documents?
I read them.
All right. Did you understand them?
No, I was just.
All right, step back. Your attorney will go over those documents with you.
Yeah.
escaped Judge.
Hi, okay. All right, thank you. Hello, John Young. And you're on Miss Lopez, correct?
Correct.
All right, can I see someone from the state on Lopez? I don't have the, here it is. And it's criminal trial, well, it's criminal trial division. Thank you. All right. This is another one of those cases where the trial court certification, I guess, wasn't done to the liking of the fourth court. So
I'm shocked.
do you know whether or not you all had an agreement on this case with regards to revocation? There was no agreement?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I probably correct what I was.
Marcus was the one that was on it, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Sanders. I'm sorry to interrupt. On Leticia Lopez, do you know if there was an agreement or not? Because I received an order from the fourth court. Another judge did this plea.
There was not.
All right.
Contested and we had it here.
All right, so we're going to go on the record just to clear up the trial court certification. All right, the court is calling 2019 CR 5852W, State of Texas versus Leticia Lopez. Could I have the parties announced for the record for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense?
John Young.
And Ms. Lopez, could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Are
Yes,
you
ma'am.
Ms. Leticia Lopez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Lopez is by video. Any objection from the state?
No objection.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we're here because another judge filled out the trial court certification of defendants' rights to appeal. The fourth court of appeals wanted clarification with regards to that trial court certification. State, was this an agreed revocation or no?
No, Judge, it wasn't. It was a contested hearing.
All right, defense, is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Lopez, did you get a chance to review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Because this was not a plea bargain case, you have a limited right to appeal. And that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion and not the fact that you were on community supervision. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Lopez. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Minister.
All right. Bye-bye.
Lakeisha, I will
Bye.
come over and see you this weekend.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
I'll explain what
Young.
happened.
Okay,
All right. Thank you.
all right, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
It's a nasty little MTR. I don't know how he could, thought there was an agreement on that.
Yeah.
And especially since he maxed her out.
Ah. Everyone, the court is taking its recess at 12 p.m. Yeah. Oh, which one is it?
Mr. Dillard.
All right, if you can come up with Mr. Dillard.
Come on up, Mr. Dillard.
So on Mr. Dillard, you have all the discovery now?
We do.
All right,
Yes,
and an offer was tender?
yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Mr. Dillard, I need a 3-week reset. And that's going to be your plea deadline date. You need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's plea. If you decide to accept the state's plea, of course, the court will review everything. But if you decide not to accept the state's plea offer, then you will receive a jury trial setting and the court will not consider any plea bargaining agreements without good cause. Otherwise, you'll plea open to the court. Do you understand? All right, Ms. Ferguson. All right, your plea deadline date is October 11th. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form.
Thank you, Your Honor. May he be excused? He was late.
No, he can be excused. I understand that maybe there was a little confusion because he was here the day before, but don't be late again. You understand? Thank you.
Judge.
You're welcome.
All right.
Hello.
Good morning, Judge. On Mr. Oscar Lopez,
Yes.
we've agreed on the amount being $4,000 for restitution. Mr. Sanders has agreed that if he can pay the whole restitution on it, he would dismiss the case. Mr. Lopez has $1,000 today that he can pay towards that, but we would ask for a little more time. Well, actually, what I was asking would be 60 days to get the rest of the $3,000. It's a lot of money, Judge. And
All right, Mr. Lopez, come up.
yeah,
All right. So what we will do then, and I'm sorry, Ms. Ferguson, can we get an interpreter?
he understands a little bit, Judge.
But does he understand it all? Because I'm about to give some instruction.
No, we'd be a very good interpreter.
All right, thank you. So as soon as she or she is here, I'll take that matter up. Oh, thank you. All right, do you know, there was another Aggie here and they don't know where Appalachia is either.
I think they're still looking. They're still.
Yeah. Somebody said North Carolina.
Google it.
It's from Boone, North Carolina.
Oh, but North Carolina.
I actually accidentally kind of drove by one day.
So did you,
Beautiful.
did you stop by and tell them
Hey, Bear.
how to win against the Aggies? Is that what you did?
We had our hands full of Alabama, so
Oh.
we're not worried about the Aggies.
Is that near Mayberry?
Yeah. Barney Pike lives there.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to take a road trip there.
There's another sort of.
So there's probably. Thank you.
Thank you, bye-bye.
So is that guy still there?
I think Leland's probably dead. Who you talking about? Leland's best. If he's alive, he's got to be. He was a. Yeah.
Oh, and Norma, there should be a FedEx coming for me
He just had a.
from parole board. So they FedExed it on September 8th, so you guys should have it.
My kid is right, I'm more with that. He really liked it. He's the most. Well, let's see. 95.
But yeah, Leland is born in 1920. He died in Delaware. That would made 88. I do it this morning. Oh, they didn't.
Hey, Judge, I work at a plea on mine.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so they show that it's out for delivery, so it should be here today by end of business day. Thank you.
What about, yes, the unindicted one. So Sam asked about the other cases too, because I see he has some indicted cases that are part of his investigation. But it was just, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I didn't know.
Antonio Rios. Antonio Rios. Norma, could you have Mr. Chirac? Okay. All right. And is Monica Guerrero coming or is? Okay. All right, the court is going to call 2021 CR 4516, State of Texas versus Chad Pullman. Could our parties approach and announce for the record for the state?
Michelle Hayden for the state.
For the defense?
Sheriff Hernandez for the defendant, Chad Edward Pullman.
And off the record for a moment, is Mr. Hernandez still here? All right, if you all could just give me a moment, let me take up this matter with the interpreter very quickly. All right.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you.
Let me just give him the devices.
And we're not going to be on the record.
Okay, good.
All right, Mr. Lopez. My understanding from the defense in the state is that they want you to pay a certain amount. Is that correct? All right, so when is that going to be paid?
Well, Your Honor, he's got $1,000 he's going to pay today. Mr. Sanders is going to get the information down to the payment. Guess where the hot checks are paid. And my client will go and turn $1,000 cash he has into a money order or a cashier's check and pay that today. After that, we were asking for more time because we had a disagreement as to the amount, but we've agreed to the amount the state is requesting. And we would just need more time. And so I would ask for 60 days to give my client time. He's not a wealthy man, so he doesn't have that much to return. But if we could have at least 60 days to get him to pay that, Your Honor, I would appreciate it.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Mr. Lopez, I'm gonna want a 60-day reset. And that 60-day, that's gonna be your jury trial setting. So and that's also gonna be your plea deadline date.
November 29th, Judge.
All right. So November 29th is your jury trial date and your plea deadline date. So on that date, either way, you will have paid the amount that's allegedly due, or either you will enter a plea, or either we will be heading towards the jury trial. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Judge.
And Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, excuse me, if you could say for a sentencing we have.
I was just approached on that.
All right, thank you. But we're gonna take up this other matter first, then we'll do sentencing.
Okay.
So I just have
first
one
with me,
plea.
Or first with plea and then with interpretation.
We'll do the plea first and then we'll do sentencing with you. Are you able to stay?
Yes, I'm just need to give the devices to the person who needs to serve.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, we're back on the record in 2021 CR 4516, State of Texas versus Chad Pullman. Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery, and the court will note for the record that a discovery acknowledgement was also tendered to the court on July 13, 2022. Mr. Pulliam, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Next, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
we waive, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, we're proceeding on the lesser included offense of deadly conduct, class A misdemeanor.
Any objection?
None.
Mr. Pullman, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of deadly conduct as a class A misdemeanor? The range of punishment for that offense is up to a $4,000 fine and up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes,
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes,
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes,
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do believe so, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
In my opinion, yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Pullman, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
Oh, yeah.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
Oh, yeah.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of deadly conduct as a class A misdemeanor. Punishment is to be assessed at 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. There's a $1,000 fine. State is probating $500. State recommends deferred adjudication, and there's to be no contact with the complainant. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Judge, I think It was recommending regular probation. Did I?
Oh, did I say deferred?
You said deferred.
I'm sorry.
Community supervision.
That's okay. The state is recommending community supervision or regular probation. Did you understand that to be the entirety of the plea bargain agreement? Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in both places?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 100 hours of community service restitution, and hostility, aggression, and control course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, sir.
Then to the offense of deadly conduct as a Class A misdemeanor, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments into evidence.
No objections to either, Your Honor.
Mr. Pullman, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor, if I may just speak to the court briefly on a couple of issues.
Yes.
Your Honor, first of all, Mr. Pullman would like the court to know that he is a repo driver for 18-wheelers for semi-trucks. And so his job takes him across the nation. With regard to the no contact order, he is of the understanding that he will just avoid Bexar County since he can pick and choose which job to take. But would like the court to know that he does travel for his job.
Well, I mean, he can't avoid Bexar County because he's going to be supervised in Bexar County.
He was going to ask for a transfer to Harris County where he lives. He does
Mhm.
not live here in San Antonio, Your Honor. That was the other issue you wanted to address with the court. And then the final one would be if the court would allow him to purchase his community service hours since he does not live in the Bexar County area.
Mhm.
The citizens of Bexar County wouldn't benefit from his community service.
All right. Mr. Pullman, how old are you?
47.
47? How long did you know the complainant before you came to meet her in Bexar County? I mean, you would know. I mean, your attorney doesn't know. He wasn't with you when y'all
No
met.
idea who this person is.
Oh, you on a jury trial?
Your Honor, we had that discussion and this is what Mr. Pullman has chosen to do.
I have no idea.
No, I mean, if you want a jury trial, we'll give you a jury trial.
I've taken this because I'm an ex-con. I don't want to take a trial. They're not willing to drop the case. I mean, I'm trying, but Your Honor,
No, here's the
Possibly-
thing. Where we are is you've entered a plea.
Yeah.
Now, if you want a jury trial, we will give you a jury trial.
I don't want to do a trial. All I'm trying to say to you, ma'am, is that I have no idea who this Ashola person is. I can tell you specifically every single woman that I have ever been in a dating relationship with in a geographical location. I do not work, play, live anywhere in.
So you're saying you've never dated anyone in Bexar County? Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, man, I
All right,
have
so-
never dated Harris County. So I'm not saying it might be this person knows me from Harris County and just reported it here. I'm not sure what happened, but I've never dated anybody in Bexar County. So I mean, I couldn't,
So he's
the name
saying,
is very, very specific. I have never addressed anybody in a show. I don't know who this person is.
And Your Honor, if I may offer, I have had a discussion with Mr. Pullman. This is the route we chose to go. We did discuss whether or not we should take it to trial for whatever reasons that are his own.
he has chosen to take this plea bargain agreement. Is it a chance that he was doing a repossession here in Burke County and this is in relation to that possibly? He doesn't necessarily know the names of the people he's doing a repossession from. But this is the route Mr. Pullman has chosen to go if the court will accept this plea.
Judge, the ID was provided by the complainant, I think from a picture of his ID on her cell phone. We believe based on, we understand what defense is saying, took that into account in the offer we made in this case, but.
Because the complainant is very clear. She's saying that you went through her phone and you became angry about messages. So here's the thing, you're 47 years old. Move on. I mean, you're old enough to know, here's the thing, you are old enough to know when you're 47, you're not a teenager. If somebody is cheating on you, if somebody has a relationship with somebody else, there are two ways to handle that. The first way is you accept it and deal with the fact that the person that you love or want to be with is going to be cheating on you. The second way is you tell that person, I'm not going to deal with this. Either you're going to be faithful and with me or you're not. If you're not, then I'm leaving. Those are the two choices. This choice here is not a good choice. All right, this is what the court is going to do. As previously stated, the court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail, suspended and probated for 2 years. There's $1,000 fine. $500 is to be probated. Well, actually, there's $1,000 fine and the entirety of the fine will be probated. There's to be no contact with the complainant. And that's Uche Otikor, UCHE-AWAJI, last name OTIKOR. There's to be anger management. Transfer to Harris County. $100 hours of community service restitution. If you want to buy those hours, the court allows those to be bought out at $7.25 per hour. And that will go to the San Antonio Food Bank. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Proof of employment within 15 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be regular UAs or drug patch. Defendant allowed to travel for work. All right, probation, is there anything else he needs?
No, Your Honor.
Is there anything else you need from the court?
No, ma'am, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yeah.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, which case is the sentencing that has the interpreter? Okay, let me see. Oh, thank you.
It's with Carl, and I think Carl said he's still talking to the client.
Okay.
No, my witness.
All right, are we ready on Corey Rodriguez?
Well, we'll confer still, Your Honor.
All right, you can continue to confer then. Who's here on Antonio Rios?
I am, Your Honor.
All right, Antonio Rios, come forward. All right, Mr. Rios, why were you late?
This morning I was there because I got here 15 minutes early, but parking lot had quite a bit of people to check in, which is the tick stubs. And then I came to the regular door that we usually come in. It was closed, I had to go all the way around, and then there was not people in the night.
All right, don't be late again, okay? All right, what is happening with this case?
Judge, we've got a new plea offer on a basically a cap type deal. We'd have a couple weeks to mull it over and decide whether we want to take it. I think this was a short fuse on the initial plea offer we had from the last court date.
All right. How old are you?
I'm 47.
All right, so we're gonna come back next week and that's gonna be your plea deadline date. You understand? All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need this case back next week for a plea deadline date. All right, so we're gonna come back on September 19th. That's your plea deadline date. On that, at that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's plea offer. Do you understand? All right, thank you.
All right, Judge, be excused.
Yes,
All
after
right,
you get the
yeah.
reset form. Who's here on Ricardo Martinez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court is calling 2022 CR 4502, State of Texas versus Ricardo Martinez. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Michelle Hayden for the state.
for the defense?
Victoria Cruz on behalf of Raymond Martinez for the defense.
All right, and are you Mr. Martinez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Martinez, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we're proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, I believe married cohabitating. Might be family
Okay.
violence.
All right, you have it as a family household.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem. All right, Mr. Martinez, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, family or household as a class A misdemeanor? The range of punishment for that offense is up to a $4,000 fine and up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargaining, sorry, you all gonna have to whisper. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to accept your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Your Honor. Yes.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Martinez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, no, no.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No, no.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, family or household. They're asking for a $750 fine. They're recommending deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of family violence in the BIPP course. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 80 hours of community service restitution, no contact with the complainant, and no firearm possession. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, family, or household, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
State offers State's Exhibit 1, its attachments into evidence.
No objection from defense.
Mr. Martinez, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulations in testimony of stipulations. The court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we would request courtesy supervision to Valverde County where he resides. He does work in Valverde County and in,
Well, my job has a job, but the contract will be over soon, but I might have to travel in the future for my
to what
job.
counties?
Depends, I don't know at the moment, I think I might be in Austin,
Okay, but right now, what county do you work in?
right now working by Valverde County.
And is Valverde County where he's living?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, how many children do you have?
I have one.
And this is the one with the complainant?
No.
All right. So there's no reason for you to contact the complainant at all. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
So why were you being abusive?
At the time, the argument escalated from a phone to ended up the situation where I ended up.
Well, what is this situation?
The phone,
No, what did you do?
what I do?
Yeah.
Well, I was pretty much, I was grabbing my phone from her, and I was holding her, and apparently the cop.
No, it says that she passed out.
She passed out. She said that she got choked her out, but I didn't choke her out to the point where I didn't choke her like.
But
I
did
was
you
holding her down on the
Yeah.
floor,
holding her down how?
like on the floor. I had my arm like around her, and I was trying to get the phone at the same time. And when she was on the floor.
Well, it says here, she had redness to her nose and the front of her neck. So how did she get redness on her nose, neck, and upper back?
I don't recall that.
All right. And then there was a 7-year-old there. So do you know that the 7-year-old hurt you all? And how old are you?
33.
And how old is your child?
He is 7.
All right. And that's with some other female?
Yes.
And do you see your child?
We have like visitation.
That's either yes or no.
Oh, yes.
When's the last time you saw your child?
I saw him. Oh, actually, recently I haven't seen him, and we're kind of going through like the process of what is it? The custody.
This is something I want you to think about. Hypothetically, let's say that the mother of your child got involved with another boyfriend, and that boyfriend was abusive to her, and your son heard it and knew about it. What damage do you think that would do to his psyche?
That would affect him.
And that's what you did on this day. You understand? All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 2 years deferred adjudication, $750 fine, that'll be probated. Affirmative finding of family violence, the BIPP course, 80 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. Court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination. But if you do, 40 of those hours will be waived. There's going to be parenting classes with Triple T. There's to be no contact with Heather Cruz. There's to be a transfer to Val Verde County. Defendant is allowed to travel for work. Proof of employment within 15 days. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular UAs. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Good.
Okay. All right, probation, is there anything else that he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
It's the work-wise.
Yes. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand? If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. We're off the record. Here's the thing. Everything that you do affects children. You understand? So you need to make sure that you are a better person for your son and make sure that he's somebody that would want to look up to you. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Who's here on Allison Elliott?
I am, Your Honor.
Are you ready?
Well, we're asking the state for offer of their time.
All right. Who's here on Amberly Perez?
I'm here, Your Honor.
All right, if you can come forward. Court is calling 2022 CR 6214, State of Texas versus Amberly Perez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
There's Michelle Hayden for the state.
For the defense?
Dwight Chumley.
And are you Ms. Perez? Defense, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Perez, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Next, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
Ms. Perez, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case? Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Ms. Pettis, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived a right to jury trial Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea bargain agreement, there's to be a $1,500 fine, affirmative finding of deadly weapon. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, and there's to be no harmful or injurious contact with Jessica Hernandez. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition? Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent? Did you understand that to be the entirety of the plea bargain agreement? Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, are there any such motions?
No.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 7 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 150 hours of community service restitution in the BIPP course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offense as charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence? I'm sorry, you're gonna have to speak up.
No content.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments into evidence.
No objection.
All right, Ms. Pettis, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiving Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review this document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented and stipulated to testimony or stipulations. I'm sorry, stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. And after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so just so the parties know, I'm not going to agree to this no harmful or injurious contact with Jessica Hernandez. So if that's something that's going to break this plea bargain agreement, I'm not doing it.
It's not, Your Honor. That's fine, Your Honor. I told her that she is going to have no contact with her at all. And she
Yes.
agrees.
All right. So here's the thing, you can't shoot somebody and then say you love them. We don't shoot people we love. So your relationship with her is over. And whether or not she wants to be in a relationship with you, that's besides the point. I'm not going to allow you to have any contact with her. Do you understand? All right, this is what the court is going to do. It's a $1,500 fine, probated. 7 years deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. There's to be no contact with Jessica Hernandez. And when I say no contact, that means no cards, no letters, no contact whatsoever, no sending a letter saying I'm sorry or any of that. Do you understand? There's to be 150 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. Court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do, 40 of those hours will be waived. The BIPP course, do you have any children? What do you do for a living?
Home care provider.
Not anymore. I don't allow people on probation to be a home health care provider. So how far did you go in school?
Dropped out like in 9th grade.
Why?
I didn't have my credit, so we dropped out.
That makes no sense. Nobody has credits to graduate from high school in the 9th grade.
I have enough.
All right, there's going to be proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I'm going to ask for regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular UAs. And I'm going to want field visits 2 times per month. Probation, is there anything else she needs?
No, Your Honor.
Is there anything else you need from the court? And probation, I'm serious about no home health care, no minors, and I'm going to do no unsupervised contact with minors as well. Showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendants' rights to appeal. Did you view that document with your attorney and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand? If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, thank you. All right, is the person ready with, just a second. Is the person ready on the sentencing with the interpreter?
If we can be issued on
All right, which case is this?
John Juarez.
So the court knows, Your Honor, we have like a total of 3 short lists. They've had 2 and I have.
All right, we're gonna bring this back after lunch.
Yeah.
All right. We'll come back at 1.
1 o'clock.
Yes. Antonio Rios. Are you ready on your case?
Yes, I believe so, Your Honor.
All right, the court is calling. I'm sorry, we're gonna come back at 1.
Okay, that's 1.
Yes,
No problem.
thank you. Court is calling 2021 CR 5900, State of Texas versus Allison Elliott. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state, for the defense?
The other notice for the defense.
Are you Miss Elliott?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to show you what's entitled State's Motion to Revoke Community Supervision and State's Motion to Supplement pending motion to revoke community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Allison Dawn Elliott, AKA Leticia Dawn Vasquez, who was placed on community supervision in 2021 CR 5900 for the offense of theft $2,500 to $30,000 of a vehicle on September 2nd, 2021 for a term of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Violated condition number 5 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Allison Dawn Elliott, AKA Leticia Dawn Vasquez, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of November, December 2021, January, February, March, April, May, June, and July 2022 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Your Honor, state waives all other allegations.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $1,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5? Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
Your Honor, there is. It's for the defendant to remain in custody until drugs court screening is complete and for a TAP assessment to be complete.
All right, the court defense, is that the agreement?
It is, Your Honor. My client claims that the TAP has already been done but the drug court screening has not. We're checking into that. I told the probation officer about that, and she gave us the name of the person that interviewed her. But the drug court has not been done. The drug court
All right.
screening.
Do we need a MIC evaluation? Is there any mental health issues going on here?
No, ma'am.
All right. So this is what the court do. The court would deny the motion in alternate remaining conditions to include a referral to felony drug court, a TAP evaluation. So we'll do felony drug court first, TAP evaluation. If not accepted, and felony drug court, then we'll do intensive outpatient treatment.
Honor, my client would like to ask if she could be allowed to be out on a PR bond until these tests need to be done, or if these evaluations need to be done.
All right, is that what you're requesting?
Yes, ma'am. I talked to Ms. Dennison on the first. I had my TAP evaluation, Ms. Boyd. She said she was recommending.
No, we're addressing the issue of your being out.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me explain to you why the reason I'm going to deny that. You've been missing since November. So there's no way I can have you out and about, because I can't be assured that you're going to show up for anything, because you had 2 years hanging over your head and you still didn't report. So the TAP evaluation, the referral to felony drug court, that's all going to happen while you're in custody. All right, thank you. You're excused.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, what? Yes. I'm sorry, on what? Okay, just a second. All right, everyone, we're going to take our recess. And so we'll be back at 1:15.